What's going on, Net King? Phosphates and nitrates. I'm just trying to uh, keep them low and stable so I can get the most out of my corals as far as coloration, um, and still feed and do the things I'm doing. Yeah, GFO is good, um, but it also binds to other. It takes other things out too. So I was trying to try this method to see. I'm just going to try it for a little bit, and if it works, great. If not, just trying to find my niche. But yeah, I just wanted to see if anybody's used this product to see if it works or if it don't work. I've heard good things about it, so yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, what's going on, Chimp? The reefer. Just trying to see who has used nopox from Red Sea, instead of like vodka, sugar, you know, different other carbon, sources. I heard that this is a pretty good method, so um, trying to see if anybody else has used it. Yeah, so I bought it, I got it, and I tried it. I'm doing a very, very, very low dose just to try and keep everything stable and try to get the most color out of my corals because I feed a lot. I feed the corals a lot, and now I'm having my Chaeto and everything is growing great, but I'm trying not to do water changes and stuff. So Had to put the little ones to bed. My daughter had gotten a flu shot today, and now she doesn't feel good. But yeah, the nopox, I'm gonna try it to see if it will help with more coloration because everything, the phosphates and nitrates will be level and stable. It's almost like a what's a good analogy? It's like taking a vitamin to keep all of those two levels perfectly good. Anything that's bad will get skimmed out. I do have two skimmers now on my tank. They did say to make sure you have a really good skimmer, so I did go out and get a new one. So I'm gonna be skimming the heck out of my water, and then I'm going to keep checking my nitrates and phosphates, and then once they're stable, I'm gonna see what my regimen will be. No, I don't have an apex. I do everything. I want one, but I do everything by eye, by sight, by feel, by touch, by look, by whatever you want to call it. Um, I don't even have phosphate test kit yet. I don't. All I test for is nitrates, alkalinity, um, magnesium, calcium. That's pretty much it. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna see. I mean, everything's doing good. I had that mishap with the coral, and I checked my had my LFS checked my phosphates, and they were pretty high. I think they were over one parts or one part per bill. I don't know what it was. He said it was high though. It was a one. Um, so I just figured my nitrates were like 20, which isn't bad, but I would like to try to just get them down. I think I shocked my system by taking the bio pellets off, feeding heavy, turned my current up, and just had that nutrient spike that they weren't used to, and caused some problems with my SPS. So nothing crazy that can't be fixed, but I'm gonna try to keep my nutrients levels down, but still feed heavy. So what I'm gonna do is target feed all my corals that need to be target fed. Feed my fish still a lot. Feed the corals a lot, but then my nitrates and phosphates will never rise. So it's a win-win for me. And I'm also curious about seeing if it will get rid of um, yeah, so far, Lisa, they haven't receded anymore. I glued them to the rocks. They are still turquoise blue. Yeah, we'll just see within the next few months how much they start growing. But so far, yeah, I do have quite a few pieces of the mother colony, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, I got Chato that grows. That's the thing, though. My Chato grows really nice. I got Caulerpa. I have two skimmers now. Um, nutrient export. Other than that, I mean, I have bio pellets, which I did have on for a long, long, long time. I took them off for like the last 3 months, and this is when I found all of these problems because I bought chalices, and the chalices were fine for a while, but they started fading away because of my ultra low nutrients. Everything was low, so I took that off and started feeding real heavy, like really, really heavy. I even shut my skimmer down for a few days here and there, and turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. And so right now, I just, like I said, I put the bio pellets back on, did a few 30-gallon water changes, and it brought it down significantly. So I'm gonna do nopox. I just bought one bottle of nopox to try and get it to where it was when it was running great. My tank doesn't have any nuisance allergies or anything. It's just mainly for me to try to keep those levels stable for a while. Um, that's pretty much it. I do run Miracle Mud in my outside refugium. Um, so yeah, everything was running good with the Chato and the skimmer and everything, but I also ran bio pellets. Um, but once I took that off and started feeding heavy, turned the skimmer off for a few days and turn it on a few days to try to have that balance, I guess you want to say, with nitrates so that my LPS corals would be okay. I fixed one problem and caused another, so I am going back to the old ways, and that should be good. Let's see. We'll hope. My thought is that the SPS were in my sense perfect water conditions for them for a long, long time, and then all of a sudden you take off the carbon source of the bio pellets, turn off your skimmer, start feeding heavy. Took a little bit for the water to get bad, and now meaning that my water wasn't bad, but the nutrients was really high, and it they were consuming it, but my thoughts were the nutrients was a little too high. So I know I seen that skimmer you got. Yeah, your Chaeto will grow a lot faster. That's how my stuff is right now. That's how I knew my nutrients levels was just so high. I mean, I very rarely check for phosphates and stuff, and went to the LFS, and they were like, "Yeah, your phosphates are pretty high for SPS," and I was like, "Well, that explains why my Chaeto and macroalgae were just growing." I mean, it's cool that it grows a little bit because it's consuming whatever's in there. But when I have too much, you can tell that I'm not wearing any pants. I got chonies on. I just got big old boobies and a shorts. Your phosphates is 38. Oh, well, that's not bad. What what test kit are you using? I think my LFS uses the API phosphate, I think. So if it was at 1, I'm wondering what that really is. You can't join iReef? What's your email? If you have an email, do you have I could send you a invite, but I need your email.
Hello?
What's going on, buddy?
Am I making too
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, man. I accidentally.
Oh, you're good, bro. You're good, bro. Hold on, let me show you what I got. Can you see? Can you see anything at all?
Yeah. Hold on one second. I'm gonna present you to everybody. I can't see the chat, but
What is this thing? Oh.
what size is that? 40?
Yeah, this is a 40 breeder. This is what I have now.
Right.
I really don't have much. I'm still new to the hobby. Well, I'm getting back after a long time, so, you know. Hey, I was telling you about the Chato over here. You see, it started growing so much that it stopped tumbling. So I moved some of it around over here. I have a Reef Breeders black box.
Yep.
I'm using that as a Chato light for now because I don't have a Chato light for now. I'm not using this camera. I'm not using anything basically. I just have like some. I don't know. Algae started growing, but I just have like some carbon and some like false guard or something like that on it. But here's the Hannah test kit I was telling you about.
Is that Dragon's Breath?
Oh yeah, and it's growing. That's why I moved the Chato over here, because that green stuff I don't really like. But the Dragon's Breath I really like.
Right.
So I'm not trying to have the Chato bother the Dragon's Breath. But here's the phosphorus ultra low reading I was telling you about. Do you see it?
Yeah. How much did you pay for that? 50?
$50. Yup. They all
How
they
many
all
test kits do you get out of it?
they all 50. I have the calcium and I have the alkalinity. Um, I think it was like a 20 pack.
What does it cost to refill those? To get what for like another 20 pack? Or
like
what does it come in at?
like $25. So I probably got like one or two left. This is
Yeah.
what see phosphorus. This is the reagent.
Yeah.
Yep. So I need more reagent of this ASAP. But I've been testing a lot, watching it go down. But this is it. This is what I use.
Yeah. I want to get one of those, but everybody
Yeah.
swears by them.
Yeah, I know, but I like to tell you the truth. When I went to buy these, I bought them from Top Shelf Aquatics. When I went to buy them, I literally was trying to buy just the regular phosphate Hannah checker, but they told me that this one is more accurate and it reads super low. So, like, sometime if you check for phosphate, it might shows you zero, but then if you use the ultra low reading, which is parts per billion instead of million, then it shows you some readings. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Ultra
Yeah,
low
that's a
reading. Yeah. Parts per billion, yeah.
Exactly.
Instead of parts per million.
Exactly. So sometimes when you check for phosphate, it doesn't show anything because it's
Well, if mine was 1 parts per million, I can only. Well, I don't even know what that would be parts per billion.
well. Well, I could look at the chart for you.
Well, if it was
Um,
one, well that's what they were saying that it was one. It was over one.
phos-
Um, that was parts per million, I believe, not parts per billion. Unless there's were part per billion, but then
if it's over one, then you were sitting at over 200
parts per
phosphorus.
billion.
Yes, phosphorus. Does it make sense now? I just looked
Yeah,
at
but
the chart.
and where do they want it to be? Parts per billion.
And you were try to get as close to zero as you can, and then start from
So
there.
yeah, I was at 200. So parts per.
you were
That's
you
crazy.
were over 200.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, because 200 in phosphorus is 0.61.
right. And we need to be like 0.0 what 7 or what is it between 5 and 10 or 1 and 5 or something.
Yeah, 0.00 or
5.
0.003.
Right. So I was 60. Dude, that's crazy.
So I want to be anywhere between 1 and 10
Right.
in phosphorus.
Yeah, I was at 60. So yeah, that's just a little too crazy. I mean, I know some people can get away with it in their systems if they're like been up for years and years and years, and
Mine was up high too.
I just don't know, TMG, what's going on. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. I could totally tell the difference, and a few of my corals almost checked out on me because of the nutrients, because I was feeding so much, and you know.
Yeah,
So
me
that's why I'm
too.
just starting a little bit of nopox just to try to bring them down slowly.
Right,
And once they come down and they plateau a little bit, then I'll stop using it and then just watch what I do.
right. A quick question: do you know
But
what this is?
star polyps,
This right here. It's on the sand bed.
I can't really make it out. Your blue lighting is
All right, hold on. See, only half of it is live. The other half was not getting enough sun, and it kind of died out on me.
I don't
You
know. It
see it?
looks it's hard, but it's hard to make it out. But it looks like it was like a phosphites or some type of
I don't even know what it is,
favia.
man. Well, it grows on the sand bed, right? And lately it lost, like in the middle of it, it used to have like glowing neon color, and that
Right.
color is just like slowly fading away, and I don't know what it is.
No, I could see it. Looks like at the outer. If I'm looking at it where your starfish is, that side is all dead, right? On that
This
thing.
side?
No, go back to your thing in the sand. Yeah, so all that on the side. Yeah, I can make it. That looks like a war coral.
Yeah, like half of it right there is dead on
Yeah,
on
yeah, all of that. Yeah, that looks like a part. It looks like a war coral. They don't like a lot of sun.
they don't.
No.
So I
So,
gotta
like,
move
if
them
you
to
were
this side.
right? Or if you put them like just underneath like a small like let him get some ambient light, but not like nothing crazy, and he'll be. They usually do pretty good. I had the same problem in mine, and I have a bicolor. Was what color is it?
It's supposed to be like red
Yep.
with the neon green.
Yeah, the eyes. Yeah, that's a war
Yeah.
coral. So I have the exact same one. It's red and with the green eyes, and then it had a bicolor. It was red, and half like a purplish gray.
All right.
Well, I almost lost the purplish gray one, and I took it out, put it in my frag tank, and now it's all red. So I lost the bicoloredness to it, but I saved the coral due to the. I mean, my lighting is pretty strong. So
I know. We was talking about it yesterday.
are
It's
those
crazy.
Wyomings?
Um, they like supposed to be Wyoming white, but somehow it didn't. It got like
It
extra
could be that
stripe
one.
on them.
Yeah, yeah. The black. They look. The one up on top could be like what a black ice Wyoming white cross or something, or could be a mocha
Yeah, that's supposed to be a
Wyoming.
mocha hybrid.
You're right. All right, right. I
And
know my
these,
clowns. It's kind of
yeah, and these clowns supposed to be like tank bread.
yeah, yeah,
Like, I don't get it, but
yeah. No, they're tank bread. I don't know what happened to you. Lost you. She's coming. Mom's going to work now. Ask her. Can you hear me? Oh, I think we lost them. I can't even hear them. Jay Carey, what's going on? So is anybody else in here that just got in used nopox just to try to bring their levels down to a stable parameter and then stop using it and then did the right thing, or did you guys like it, or did it do the job for you? I heard some people say their skimmers get all like if you use it too fast, you can have like an algae, like a cyno breakout or dinoflagellants, or your skimmer gets all messed up, or I don't know. Some people that said they have had that, some people said they didn't have it. So I did it all. I'm doing a super low dose. I might even skip a day, like every other day, just use it. Um, Stuff stinks like potency, man. If anybody were to drink that, man, you'd probably die instantly. I'm surprised it doesn't kill your fish or corals or anything. It's crazy. Like what's his name was just telling me, I Reef was telling me that my phosphates were a one according to like API. So he's telling me it's probably like 60 something parts per billion. I mean, that's crazy. Like, unbelievable how high my phosphates are right now. But everything is still okay. Um, Everything is still alive. It's still somewhat growing. Nothing's changed really as far as that, but I'm just gonna try to get them as low as possible and then go from there. Somebody else live streaming or what? What's going on here? Yeah, I'm going to the other CMAC or whatever it's called in October. Yes, sir. They got another one coming in October, or I think it's actually in November, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me see if I have the paper. So, guys, they got this one. Tank DZ presents the Aquarium Expedition at the Odeum, October 13th and the 14th. Um, I don't know if that's backwards for you guys, but it's backwards, I think, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I have those days off. I usually only go one day, though. You're all right, buddy. I fed my tank like 3 times today, and they still look like they're hungry. Yeah, but that stuff does have, like, ethanol or something in there. You think that'd be toxic, though, for your fish and stuff. I feed all kinds of stuff, reef roids, reef chili, Rod's food, myosin shrimp, LRS, um, Polylabs, the polyp booster to get them going. Um, every once in a while, I'll feed like brine shrimp, and then I also feed nori strips of seaweed every day to my. They get like a small piece of that every day. I don't feed all of that. I feed in the morning, usually in the middle of the day. I just feed small feedings though. I don't feel like one feeding is good enough, because in the wild, corals are constantly eating, fish are constantly grazing. So I'll give them a nori strip and let them feed on that throughout, for quite a few hours. I usually feed. I also got like 25 fish, so I feed like 2 cubes of myosin shrimp um, in the morning once I get home from work, and then before I go to bed, I usually feed whatever, like as far as um, like Rod's food or whatever. But then I also feed like reef roids or chili, mix them together, target feed. Yeah, I got like 24 fish. I got 3 wrasses. I got a red chorus, yellow chorus, cleaner, um, 3 clownfish, 5 Springer damsels, purple tang, chevron tang, um, magnificent foxface, copper band butterfly, 2 Bangai cardinals. Um, I also have, oh yeah, in the regular small tank, I got some green chromas. Um, so I got quite a few fish. Um, and then just the coral foods, I mean, but I feed small pieces, small, like I don't feed a lot, but just 3, 4 times a day, I try to give them. Well, that's for you it lasts, but then that's why my phosphates are 60 something parts per billion. I feed a lot, man. Everything's good though. Like I said, everything's feeding, everything eats. My tentacles are out. My millies and everything are good. It's just um, Malinaris wrasse. So my wrasses, they need to be fed because they pick and pick and pick. So I make sure that I try to feed them. They're like Antheus, they got a fast metabolism. Um, my red chorus wrasse is probably 4 inches, 4.5 inches long, and that thing never stops swimming, so I gotta make sure I keep food in its belly. Oh, yeah, I got a lawnmower blenny. No, not a lawnmower blenny. I got a Midas blenny. I got a bicolor blenny or goby. I got a lot of fish, man. I had a harlequin shrimp, but I got tired of feeding it, so I'm sure he's dead now with all my wrasses. No, that's why I'm going slow with it. So that's why I'm going to do. I only did 8 milliliters today, so 8 milliliters on like 340 something gallons. I think is well under what they want. The first one they wanted me to do was 3 mLs per 25 gallons. I went just under 1 ml. Um, and I'm like I said, I'm gonna watch it. I might even skip tomorrow and then do the next day for probably 2 3 weeks. I'm not looking to I want to gradually bring it down. I don't want to shock anything, or I want all the corals to get used to like low nutrients as far as like my chalices and stuff like that are in the other system because it's all tied together. GFO's good, but I did run that on my 120, but the GFO, it takes other stuff out with it. It doesn't select only just phosphates. I mean, it's a great product, but I just feel like it strips more than what it needs to. So I just trying this route. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on it, definitely. Most definitely. I'm definitely going slow. Slow and steady wins the race. I still don't understand how that stuff doesn't kill anything because this stuff smells like you can light that stuff with a it's like a pipe bomb ready to go off. Yeah, I'm keeping my biopellet reactor online. I just put in only 125 mLs in there. Well under what I'm supposed to. Um, so that's why I'm doing the nopox just to kind of bring it down slowly. Um, and it's also going to activate the biopellets by using the nopox. So like I said, I'm going to watch it, test it, make sure those nitrates aren't declining too fast. Chances are I might not even have to use the nopox for a very long time, maybe only a week or two till them biopellets start to kick in. but the 125 mils, that ain't nothing. I should probably be somewhere around 600 or so for 300 and something gallons. I think a 120 is like 250. So yeah, I just added just enough to try to help. So I'm doing a little by little of everything, you know. But that's only nitrates. I'm really mainly using the nopox for phosphates because it said nitrates and phosphates. I just want to see. If it don't work, then I'll try GFO again. Um, but I want to try this because I've heard really good success people have had with it. So we'll see. Narcosis, what's going on? We'll see. Like I said, the nopox. Hopefully, it'll shape up everything, bring out the colors that I need. It's quiet in here. Normally, I'm Harry. Yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm going slow with it. I ain't gonna, I'm just gonna make sure everything with two skimmers going. I shouldn't have a problem with trying to skim all the nasty out. So I might, I might even skip a day. You know what I mean, Carrie? I might I did it today. I might skip tomorrow, or I might even do it tomorrow. Let the stuff get into the system, and then I'm gonna start maybe skipping. It says for do it every day, but um, I don't think it's that bad where I have a lot of other stuff working with me too. So this is just a help. I do have Calerpa and Chaeto and bio pellets, and now I just like I said, those are all working, but they're not bringing it down fast enough. Um, so I just want to my my phosphates. If you were to, I guess it's 1 part per million. So if you did a parts per billion, it's like 0.06 something. My nitrates were over 20, 25. But that's because I've been feeding a lot narcosis. I had it where my bio pellets were on there, everything was good, things were fine, but then I started turning off my skimmer and trying to bring my nutrients up because of my chalices. When I did that, I aggravated the SPS corals. So I already knew once it took about a couple weeks, almost a month for it to start climbing, but um my phosphates, probably the food I'm feeding. I mean, I feed frozen and I feed probably 4 to 5 cubes of frozen a day. I don't know. I think it could be from a lot of it. I mean, it could be from my reef roids, my reef chili. Um, Also, I've been feeding Polylab Polyp Booster. I mean, that could probably have tons of phosphates in it. I did dose. I was dosing every other day was marine snow, um, stuff like that, which I haven't done that in a while. I stopped doing that shit. But like I said, I had it where everything was fine, but then I love chalices, so I started buying chalices, and they look good for like a couple weeks, 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden you can see they started dwindling away, doing like not dying, but they lost all their color. So I was like, "What is going on?" I checked everything. Nitrates were a little high, but they weren't. Phosphates were, it was a little bit. And then like I tested a week later, and the things were through the roof, man. I had to. I did run carbon only to polish the water, and then I threw it away. I don't run carbon. I don't run filter socks. I don't do any of that. So, um, like I said, for sure, I already know what the problem is. So once I get them back down, I'll probably stop using nopox. I'm not going to constantly use it if I don't have to. It's there just to be on reserve, you know? Have you guys had any you guys have any problems with any of this either, or I can't be the only one? Yeah, I have such a big system. I dosed it like they were telling me, dude. I went through that bottle in like 4 days, a whole bottle of marine snow. Then I bought another one and I did it again, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get me wrong, I did a water change and everything. I could only imagine what my levels were weeks ago. Um, I bet you they were higher than what they are now, so now when I had my bio pellets and I ran marine snow, I didn't see nothing happen because the bio pellets were being used by the nitrates, so and then whatever phosphorus I had, I think the corals were eating them up, but once I, turned that off and then was stopping my skimmer for a little bit to try to boost up my nutrients, it got away from me, so but like I said, man, my tank still looks awesome, still great, corals are still healthy. I just had a problem with a few. I don't do water changes. Well, I haven't. The only water changes I did were to bring I did like 2 30-gallon water changes. That was it since I've had my tank. I never had a problem until I started feeding crazy. Like I said, I still haven't lost anything. The only thing I've lost was a portion of my mother colony, and that's when I knew something was crazy, but I saved a lot of pieces. No, I got a calcium reactor, so I don't dose anything. I mean, I do. I dose potassium, fuel, iodine. Um, that's pretty much it. Other than that, other than feeding. See, what's cool about the nopox is the way I read it is that it binds with those bacterias, and it then when they bind together and they make their way through the system, your skimmer can actually pick them up, and that's why your skimming becomes more. You're going to see an increased skim foam when using it, so that that's basically all the nitrates and phosphates coming out. Um, so that's what I liked about. I did a lot of research on it, and the way it works is like it'll bind to that, and then it's like connected to like the little bacterial molecule, and it brings it up and over, and then when it makes its way through the system, you know what I mean. Your skimmer will pick up whatever's there. So I put on 2 skimmers the other day just because, and now I'm hoping I can get it down quick. Yeah, calcium reactor, CO2 tank. I got a Milwaukee solenoid. You know, it tells me where I'm at. I run my calcium reactor at 6.5. pH, goes through a second chamber and then out. Right now, my calcium's at 440. Uh, my alkalinity is right around 8 to 8.1, 8.2. My magnesium, I know it's over 1400. Yeah, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I got Neomag in my reactor, and then obviously like Reborn. Yeah, I got a calcium reactor. I think it's a 140 something dual chamber. No, click clack. I didn't hear about that. Polylab, one dose calcium manganate. No, my calcium reactor is like awesome. It's saved me so much money. My CO2 tank in the last 4 months is still over 50. Yeah, my calcium's at 440 and my alkalinity is at like 8, a little over 8. 8, I don't know exactly. Like I don't have an exact number, but it's not 9 and it's when you're at 8, it changes a color, but it still looks like, so it's a little higher, probably like 8.23. And I keep it wide open. My solenoid, I set my thing at it's the acidic the whatever you want to call it, the acidic ratio in there is like I run mine at 6.5 right now. Yeah, 6.5 and then the recirculating pump and I tried to run it at 6.6 and everything started to decrease. So I was at like at 7 and whatever. So I bumped it up and then I turned my regulator, the power in there is like almost 20 pounds per pressure or whatever. PSI gives me a little bit bigger of a bubble. I've never heard of that. Is it something? It must be something new. Yeah, that's what I would think too. That's why my calcium reactor, I don't know why, but it's perfect, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess if I wanted to have my calcium at 480 but 440, I can't beat it, you know? I think it was 440, in between 420 and 440. I think I had when I did my test, I was at 21 before it changed. What's going on, Tina? How are you? Where did you get them from, Tina? Where'd you buy them from? What's up, John? What's up?
Looks like the link has been given.
The what?
Uh,
The link has been. I'm looking at Fisher Hex's things here.
He's got some pretty nice coral on there.
LPS. Wow, look at that. The Micro
You
Musa,
want to screen? You
15
want to
bucks.
screen share so we can see?
I don't know how to do that.
Are you on your phone or on the computer?
Computer. So what do I do? Do I go?
Should be right there on the left. Should say screen share.
Just go on my thing? Oh, present to everyone or?
Yep. No, that's not it.
It's just my ugly face.
Yep. It should be on the left. It should say screen share. It should show like 2 boxes. If I remember correctly. I haven't did it in a while.
Oh, right on. Let me see. Oh, yeah, screen share right here. So if I go,
Make sure you don't have like inappropriate stuff on your desktop. You got to switch to a different person or a different screen. There you go.
so now you can see it?
Yep. Showing us the corals.
Oh, yeah.
Got a hammer.
I like this one right here, man. This Micro Musa right here. It's on sale for 15 bucks. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heads.
Hey.
20 bucks for this right here. $20 for a short tentacle plate. I bet.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
You got one of these, Tina?
Yeah, I've got a short tentacle plate. Yeah, now in my tank now. I love it.
Cut from the 300. Let's see what he has from the. Oh, right here. Where we go? Acros, baby.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm sticking with it. I got a green Modi cap, a pink bird's nest, I believe a green stylo.
Yeah.
I got three different zoanthids. Heck, the one that you're on right now, I gotta look up. I gotta get on here now so I can tell you what I got.
Oh man, we seem to start something. We started something at night.
I'm trying to fill in spots on my rock, but I can only go up now. So I've got to get stuff that needs higher lighting and more flow.
Oh, he only has one of these bad boys left.
Oh,
yeah.
Last 4?
I don't think I can handle acros yet.
No, don't even try it. Acros or something else.
My 75 is only, my tank, the whole tank itself, basically, the tank alone is only 6 months old, but everything that's in it has been in it for 14 months. It's been switched from one tank to another. So, but I'm looking at it going, okay, everything's growing like crazy. The Duncan that I fragged is actually growing and getting new heads on it. And my bird's nest, I had to move it tonight because it grew so fast that it was touching one of my frog spawns, and my frog spawns stung it and like killed back a few of the things. So I had to go in there and do some moving today, and it ended up breaking up in 3 places. So I've got three bird's nests now in my tank. Green ones, and now
look at
I
those
want
acans he's got.
Yeah, see, I got acans too, so pretty much.
This could be a rainbow. Is this a rainbow?
Multicolored, it says, I think. It doesn't necessarily say rainbow, but I'm not sure what that means. I almost got that candy cane there because it's different than the candy cane that I have.
Candy cane, green cane.
The page that you were just before this page, the page that you were just on.
Oh yeah. This.
That multicolored one is gorgeous. Yep. Got that purple rim around it. The ones that I have are all green.
That's cool though that he's got like $10 frags. These are all $10.
Yep. That's why I went ahead and I got, I think, 8 of them coming. So I looked at some of Scott's and I wish I could have afforded a little bit more, but okay, let's see. You're on the Zoanthid page. Okay, see the Red Monty? I got that.
Yeah, the red Monopora.
I ordered that one, and I ordered the Zoanthid frag in the upper right-hand corner. And there's an ice, I think an ice cap one called Zoanthid, and then I got another one that's different pretty colors than that.
For $15, man, it ain't bad. How many heads do you get on these though?
Probably one. On the, if you click on the, it says 10 to 12 polyps per frag. So there's the Arctic ice Zoanthids. I ordered those.
Oh yeah, this one says 4 to 10 polyps.
And then the one right next to it, to the left of the Arctic ice one, is I got that one too. The one with the red
Arctic.
on.
Oh yeah, right here. These ones.
Nope, I have those. I ordered the Arctic ones, the ones that were before it. They're all green.
Yeah, the Arctic ice.
Yeah, the Arctic ice. Second row.
He's got green, purple. He's got purple eaters.
Yeah, I got
green
those.
people eaters. 5 to 10 polyps on here.
You said those are called purple people eaters. Why does he have Arctic then?
No. He already showed you the.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Clicked on a different one.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the computer now too instead of the phone, so he's probably. It's always ahead.
Gotcha. Yep.
Hollywood
Stunner Chalice, $15. That's a good price.
Yeah, now see, Hollywood Stunner I'm staying away from because I've been hearing bad things about that.
Yeah, they got sweepers that'll. This thing grows fast.
But I tell you what, once I moved those, I can't believe when I took the green bird's nest and moved it. You guys should have seen the freaking tentacles coming off that frog spawn today. I've never seen them do that. I actually got to see sweepers off it.
I really like this, man.
Yeah, see, I don't know much about Favias or any of that other stuff. Those are basic, just LPS. Are they easy to care for?
Yeah, I mean,
Micromuses, yeah.
Now,
all
are
you
they?
Gotta worry about them is they pretty much win like a lot of the wars.
Well, see, and that, yeah. See, I don't want anything that's going to be that
that aggressive.
That aggressive.
Take on the world, and
I was going to say vicious, but
meteor showers are cool. People, I've seen a lot of these. They don't require a lot of light, but they're those corals that you can fit and put in places that normal corals wouldn't thrive in. You know.
You can put them like on the back wall or the overflows.
Yeah, they prefer not as strong light, and yeah, a lot of people these things they got a lot of nice colors in this group. As you can see, like this one here is like he could show you how it encrusts and stuff. It's pretty sick.
Look at me being a bad influence on getting you up on there.
So something that I do see about those is the polyps aren't even all the way out. He's got it in a little bit too much flow. Normally what they do is like they'll bring their polyps out like a flower and they'll like rest them kind of like on their body, kind of like a flower blooming. It's pretty much what they look like.
Aww.
Yeah, like almost like this one. No, even that one right there isn't. So all of these little red ones, yeah, it's almost like they'll have their little fingers will all be out.
Yep, exactly. Like,
Now, see, those are kind of cute.
oh, there's some good looking corals. Cyphastria is really nice.
Yeah.
Are they easy to take care of or aggressive?
Easy.
Okay.
This is cool. It looks a little light. Look at the polyps are out though.
I don't see any the stringers though. You know, like the little white streams.
Yeah, the little noodles, little feather, like little strings.
Yeah. I don't see none of those. He might have made them take it in for the picture or something.
Now, see, that's a pretty coral, but it'd probably end up dying in my tank. So.
An inch and a half.
Yeah, I wouldn't even play with those if. Pretty much got to be like dosing.
Your Millie could be fine right now, and then when you wake up tomorrow, it'll be white.
Gone. Skin
Now,
just
see, I do
peeled
dose.
off.
I keep an eye on my calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium. And the only thing that I've had to dose so far is alkalinity. That's it. I haven't had to dose anything else.
Okay, that's what's up.
So I guess I still may not know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something right apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get there as time goes on. You'll learn and learn and learn, and before you know it, you'll have a tank like everybody else. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all thing to do is just like build up to those, you know, like get a
Yeah,
Monty.
there's only so much you can do with a 75-gallon aquarium, yeah.
Oh yeah. Get a Monty, get another one, get another Monty.
What I just did too, I glued a piece of red Monty on the back of my overflow, so it's going to start tabling out. I see my buddy did that, and it looks so cool. Like,
oh, that's neat. I've got a red Monty that's dinner plate size, and I actually was in there cleaning up the tank today, and I busted off a little tiny piece, so I glued it onto another rock, and then I have a purple Monty cap, and I've got a green one coming. The green one that I got from Rico did not make it. I lost 4 of the 5 corals that I got from him. The only one that made it so far is the purple Stylophora, and it's doing good. It's actually starting to grow. But everybody else lost their skin and just decided they didn't like my tank. So I don't know if it was lighting. I mean, they're pretty much all in the same position as where my purple one is, but they just didn't do anything. And the green Monty cap just never colored up and just went white on me. So
you have a purple Monty cap?
I have a purple Monty cap and I have a red Monty cap. Yep.
I would like to get a purple one. I don't have that. I got green and red. The green with the red, like it's called a chili pepper or Monty.
Yep.
But the purple one, that'd be sick. I could dig that.
Now, see, in the light, when the lights are on, it doesn't look purple. It looks like a lighter red. But when the lights start going down and more blues hit it, it turns a really nice, pretty purple, plum, like a plum color.
Right.
Purple Monty Capricornus.
Yep.
That's what's up. Well, you do have a 75, so you could probably put about 200 coral in there.
Dang. Okay, let me see
Pack it out.
How many I have in here so far. I've got 3 caps. I've got, oh my goodness gracious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frog spawns. I have a hammer. I've got 3 small colonies, maybe 15 to 20 polyps each of zoas. I've got a big green star polyp rock in there. I have 3 groups of acans. One of the acans has got like 10 heads on it. The other ones have 3. I've got 2 Duncans. I now own 2 toadstools since it finally split. I just ended up moving one over to the left. I've got quite a bit in there. I still have so much empty space and I don't know what to do with it. And I'm getting tired of the same colors. I got green, pink, orange, and red, and green. Mostly green.
Everything is green.
Yeah. I almost bought an orange stylo today, but I think it was at Unique Corals. I wasn't paying $45 for a 1-inch frag. I'm like, no. I just couldn't see. I try to run my reef on a budget.
Yeah.
And I got 4 corals for that price.
All right.
Of course, they got to start out small, but it don't mean nothing.
No, if everything's good, they'll grow. Within 3-4 months, you ain't even gonna know the size. It'll look totally different.
Yeah. Like I started out with my hammer started out with 1 little head. Now I have 2. My Duncan started out with my first Duncan started out with 5 heads. Now I've got like 30 on it.
Wow.
And that's in the last. And then I took one. I got a little bitty. What do they call that? Just a little artist saw. I can't say hacksaw because that's not what it was, but it reminds me of a hacksaw. And I just took that off and I glued it to a new frag. And now that 1 head has got like 3 babies coming on it. And that's only been in the last 3 weeks.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's my first fragging success. And then my bird's nest kind of got fragged by accident today, but that's okay. I just got it stuck in different places now. My Monty cat, my red one, it started out the size of probably, like my plate was 3 or 4 inches. Like my plate coral is about 3 inches around. And that's how big my plate was. And now it's the size of a dinner plate with a bunch of new plates on it. My purple plate is just now starting to grow. My trumpet coral started out as 3 heads, now I have 8. So something's going on where, and my obviously my pulsing zinnias and my green star pops have done gone wonkers. I've got so many of those, it's ridiculous. But I love them.
This guy here, Jason Fox, he's got some nice.
I saw a Jason Fox coral today, and I can't remember where it was. I saw it. It wasn't.
You got Jason Tyree, Red Dragon Acro for $49. That's a pretty sick coral.
Is it Jason?
You'll see. I think.
Oh, you're
at see my screen.
JasonFoxCorals.com.
Yeah.
All right.
Jason Fox signature corals.
Okay, I'm gonna pull that up here.
But he's showing you pictures of stuff that's already kind of big. So, like, here, you said you got a green stylo. Like, here's a stylopora right here. So as they get bigger, even this is a stylo. Jason Tyree, pink lemonade.
Yeah, but in order to keep those colors that he's got coming off those corals, you got to have pretty much almost the same lighting, the same water parameters.
Right, definitely. And I'm just trying to show her, like, when they get bigger, like these pictures aren't what you're gonna buy either. He's gonna give you like this little nub right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This, like, he doesn't give you. This is what a Certosa will look like once it's growing out. Like, it gets branchy. It's pretty cool. I like that type of structure, especially like this. I want to get a digi.
Yeah, see, that's what I was looking for. It's an orange. I think it was an orange digi.
Here's
and I can't remember. It wasn't on Jason Fox's though. but somebody had a Jason Fox coral. I think it was under the unique corals that I found that on.
They pretty much swap everybody's corals, all the vendors.
Yeah, I got this coral from him. The only crazy thing is it lost its little flame tip. I mean, it's still red. It's encrusting. I don't know if the lighting isn't strong enough or if because of my nutrients, but I got a Jason Fox flame.
Probably the color spectrum of your light.
Okay, now what is this JF Sucker Punch that he's got on here? I like that because it's frilly. It looks like flowers. It's on that first page when you hit shop now.
What is it called?
It's called the JF Sucker Punch, and it's orange. And it kind of looks like a Goniopora, like a flower pot coral.
Or JF Serial Killer. That thing looks cool too. I'm on the first page. I don't see.
It's on that very top. It's on the what you see was what you get. Under shop.
Oh, so.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. You know, I like the orange.
I just hit shop. What you see is what you get.
JF Pink Polyp Stylo. Ooh, now that's pretty.
Yeah, I went to the SPS one though. But come down here, like I'll show you, like the Mike Paletta. I like that one for $59. I want to get one of those eventually.
Are you under gallery or are you? Let's see.
I'm under SPS.
Okay, SPS. Let's see if I can find that here. Okay, there we go. Fruity Pebbles Monty. Yeah, see, I gotta
the
get
burning banana. The banana. That's a cool. That looks like it's new. This looks cool. This thing's like blue and green, but and all he runs are T5s, Blue Plus, and Reef Brights, and all his stuff. That's all he runs.
No. He runs a whole bunch of different lights.
My light would not probably stand up. I could add T5s to mine, but I run the Current Marine IC Pros, and I'm getting some good color. Like the two of the corals that I got, two of the frog spawns that I got from a frag swap were almost clear. They were very light clear orange or whatever when I got them. You could see through them literally. And they're just now starting to color up. And one's almost a dark brown color now, and the other one's a really pretty bright orange.
I like this thing right here, man. This thing's sweet, but not for $400.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not going to be in my bank account.
No, ARC.
Which one?
The Fireworks Acro, ARC.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. Now, this is a very easy coral to keep, and it's only $49 because of the color. Usually they're red or like green, but the Peruvian, however you say it, Puvia, they're very easy to keep. They like lower light.
The Pavona?
There you go.
Pavona.
Yeah, he's got a yellow one that's pretty cool. That's a different, I wonder if it would be easy to keep that color or I'm not sure.
That color is pretty.
My buddy just bought one of these, the Aquaman.
Okay, there's a Jason Fox Rainbow Monty. That's what I think I saw on that one place.
Yeah,
here for $39. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not. So you're better off, like I was gonna do, is get like 4 or 5 under $50 corals from them, and then shipping doesn't seem so bad. You pay one shipping cost.
Uh-huh.
Or you wait till you see them at a show, but
there's a nice one, but dude, that's expensive. It's called a Purple Tide Montipora digitata, and it's green, but they call it Purple Tide.
This yellow jacket is nice, man. This Millie. That's sharp. You can tell he cut it right here. So you would get like a little nub of this. That's one thing, Millie's, man, you can take flow and you can, man, they love flow. Love it.
Yeah, see, that's what mine now is one that
The
might
riffraff,
be.
this is nice.
Okay, that's another one that I saw that I liked. It's called the WWC Cherry Tree Monty. Really super bright red. But I can't keep putting Monty caps in here, or I'm going to be nothing but Monty. I want to get digitatas and stuff like that now. There's a pretty one.
Yeah, because those are in the Monopora, so they're just the same thing, but they're branchy. So that's what I like about them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to get one of these, a Superman Digi.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, they got this one. They got green, red, orange.
The Red Hot now Satosa, that in the same.
Yep.
Is it easy to care for?
It's just I got 2 of them in mine, and they're already encrusted and growing. And
it says it's like
this is nice too.
Low, medium, or high water flow. Low, medium, or high.
Yeah, they're pretty easy. Yeah, they're pretty. They're just like a monopore. If you can keep them mono, you can keep them.
Okay.
So it
doesn't give a crap where you put it, obviously. That's kind of pretty. I like that. It looks like a really deep orange.
Looks like a melted Skittles.
All right, let's see what else was I. Oh, Digi.
This is what everybody's drooling over lately, like the way this coloration. But like Narcosis said, to try to keep this thing this color, it's gonna be very, very, very hard. When you get it, it's gonna be like that. But if your lighting and stuff ain't the same, all of these corals are gonna change colors.
Oh yeah, they'll probably brown out.
So I have this one.
There's some LPS. Let's see what kind of Zoas he has here. I want to get some of those long eyelash ones. Okay, cornbread nuclear death. Okay. Daisy Dukes. I like what they name these things. See, the thing of it is, too, when I purchase them for their colors, when I look at them on here, they don't look nothing like that when I put them in my tank. Their colors.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what sucks, because you're like hoping you got a theme in your head, like, okay, if I add this red one and this purple one and this green one and this yellow one and red, you think you're gonna build this mural, but then once they get in your system, it doesn't ever turn out to be that way, you know.
And like the green, like one of the green ones and the Arctic ice red ones that I got were true to color. But all the rest of them, like I got one that looked really deep, deep red. But when I get it home under my lighting, it looks like a brown orange. It doesn't look like it did when I purchased it at the frag swap. But my neon green ones, and then like I said, my Arctic, I don't know what they call fire and ice, I think is what it is, because they're red and white. Now them look the same. Right. But like the purple ones, you get a purple one and they look black, and it's just like, And they've got
crazy T Monty. That's crazy. It's a riffraff, $600. That's right.
Kung Fu Fighters. Now those are pretty colors, but I wouldn't know what they would look like. I like the greens and the purples and the blues that are in it.
Yeah, see, like this one, this is nice. This is like this got to be a tenuous or something, or maybe not. But Jason Fox, the Jolt. This is a nice coral. This is
That's
awesome.
pretty. Look at how pretty blue that is.
Understand that he's under a Tinix, but look at the pink little polyps, or they look like they could be green. It's got blue, green, pink, a little bit of yellow right there. Yeah, that's sharp. That's sharp. But as soon as you put it in your tank, it is gonna probably turn green.
Yeah, it'd be this for like some of these cyphastrias and stuff that I'm seeing. They're just not gonna like that red and white one though. The Candyland one might do good because it's red and it's got white dots on it, so that one might be okay. I know anything that has neon green in it's going to show up, right? But I'm tired of looking at neon green.
Look at this, the ARC fireworks. This is the piece you would get for the $400. Look how little that is, man.
That's not. That's only for people who have.
That's just people that, yeah, like if you get your income tax or, I mean, these are the real actual sizes. Look at that beach bum, like that don't even fill the plug for 600. Oh my lord.
Yeah, no.
This is cool. I like that. Different colors, slightly green, yellow, red. That looks pretty cool. I like. This one's cool. It's got pink. It's called a high strung.
I like that style that you just had up there. Top right hand corner. Yep. No, that's not the right one. That's pretty. I think maybe it is. I don't know. I saw something about pink stylo.
Like this one here would probably be okay in your tank too. I would try it. It's called the Midnight Dynamite Monty. So it's kind of, see how it grows like in branchy type.
Yep.
That's pretty cool for 69. It's $70, but plus your shipping, so you're still looking at probably $100.
For yeah, a no.
$100, but if you buy more than one frag, then you're getting a better deal for your money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
See, these are part of those corals I was telling you that don't like a lot of light. That was on Fish of Hex. This is the exact same family, but like this one isn't out either. But that's pretty cool.
Wonder if it could be the time of day.
Yeah, right. Fruity Pebble Busters, or no, Jason Fox Bubble Busters. 2 polyps for $90. Holy cow. He's got the bounce mushroom. I don't know if that's the OG or it says worldwide coral. It's $800.
Oh my God. Yeah, when it comes to my corals and stuff like that, I don't care if I have to be able to see it in person. If I'm going to buy a colony of something or spend more than, let's say, $20 on a frag, I need to be able to see it in person and say, okay, I think it's worth that.
I'm gonna give me one of these. Paletta pink tip.
That's pretty.
I just like all the tips. When the colony gets really big, it's striking. I like the way they look. I'll wait till I see him at a show, though. I don't know if I'm going to order from offline and pay all that extra money.
Ooh. All right. Now, let's see what Live Aquarius got going on. Easy.
Yeah, these are sharp, man. Like, so these are war corals right here. These were cool. I had one like this, but almost lost it from my nutrients, and now it's all red.
Aw.
Satria. I can't say that word.
Cetastria.
Cephastria.
Cetastria.
Not for me. Leptoceras. Look at this, a Jason Fox sucker punch.
Yeah. That's pretty. Live Aquarius got some good deals. They have some captive grown SPS frag pack. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for $89. Certified beginner SPS frag pack, aquaculture.
Look at this one for $40 from Worldwide Corals.
Wow, that's pretty.
That's not bad for $40. And it's a Worldwide Coral, so that just says, I mean, they breed for color and do everything. I mean, it might change a little bit if your lighting is not, but it's medium flow, medium light. See, that's like acans and stuff too. They don't want a lot of light, and they hold their colors better with less light.
Yeah.
So that's that's a nice piece. I might swoop me up one of those. This one's 250. Same kind of coral, just different colors. This is a SR, so Signature Mighty Max. I don't know what that.
I like that. The orange one with the green. I like that.
Yeah, look, this is red, orange, green. This is purple and green.
Yeah.
Daisy Duke Pallies.
Yeah, I saw.
Look at these. Fate Jason Fox Atomic Sunrise Zoas. That's crazy. So yeah, they're pretty cool, man. Jason Fox got some cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The acros are so cool. There's no way. I'm not even going to attempt them. Oh, there's a great. We are getting some feedback. Do you have two things going on or no?
What?
There is some feedback when I talk. I can hear myself coming back. Do you have two things going at once or no? Like
No. Hold on 1 second.
Like a tablet and a phone or something?
No, I don't think so. I got only.
Okay, maybe it's just bouncing off something. No.
Let's see. Yeah, no, I got YouTube off.
Okay, Click Clack says, anyone have questions they would like me to ask? I have my pen ready.
I know, I see that. I will be interviewing if you made more at the Reef Farm September 8th. If you're Yeah, that jolt looked awesome, Chimp. I don't have any questions for what? What is Yeah, Jason Fox, he's only done one. I don't even think I think he did that one the seminar, and then he did that one with Reef something where he went to his house and did a interview, and it was pretty cool, man. Like the guy has legitimately got does everything out of his house. It's crazy.
They must not have any things he gets this time. I'm not sure if that's live aquarium when I look at that. I could have sworn I
What
have.
coral are you looking at?
I'm at Live Aquaria right now, and usually they have a what you see is what you get, and I don't see anything on here saying that. So I'm looking at their sale page though, and they've got they've got a flower pot coral. They got a lot of nice stuff for sale right now. I'm liking that green toadstool.
Those are nice. The electric green toadstool when they're all their polyps are out. It's sharp.
Mm-hmm. And I see an orange plate, but it's a short tentacle. I want to get a long tentacle one next. Okay, so let's see what you see.
Click says, Tina, check out Joe Knows Reef. Look at his candy.
I have no idea who that is or where to look. Is it a web store or something that I can go to and look? I think one of the ladies at my local fish store today was telling me, yes, Google, yes, web store. All right, I'm gonna write that down because I think she was telling me to go check his stuff out too when I was there because our store, Lord bless them, they need to get some more stuff in there. They finally just hired somebody in there that knows what the heck they're doing. But with this ban from Indonesia and stuff, they can't get it. They have hardly anything in there right now. They've got people that work there and some of their customers coming in to just bring corals and stuff to trade so that they'll have corals to sell. That's how low they are on corals right now. Okay, Joe Knows Reef. Yep, I like it when Fisher Hacks has his sales. half
No, he's got some nice little pieces. I wouldn't mind. What did he charge you for shipping?
$49.99. I think I paid just as much in shipping as I did in corals. Actually, no, I spent a little over $100 in corals. Came up to 105, and then I paid the $49.99. They're supposed to go out tomorrow. They'll be overnighted, and I'll be getting them Friday morning sometime. Joe knows reefs, must be reefs. JoeKnowsReefs.com. Ooh. New arrivals, LPS, SOAs, SPS. What you see is what you get. Oh, y'all. Why do you want to? Okay, that's being saved in my favorites. Just so that I could come in here and drool. Now, what did I see your topic on here? I didn't see it before. What do you need to use nopox for, bud?
My phosphates are pretty high and my nitrates. I mean, not, how do I want to say? I turned off my bio pellets. I don't do water changes.
Oh, okay.
And, my chalices were looking a little lethargic, go to speak, and I figured, well, I have no nitrates, I have no phosphates. Well, I did, but they were super low. So let me raise them. Everybody else has a little bit in there, and you know what? They have kept everything successfully. So what I did was I shut my skimmer off for a few days. I turn it on for a few days, shut it off for a few days. But then on top of that, I was feeding very heavy. I was using like marine snow from Julian Sprung. I was doing, reef roids, mice and shrimp, reef chili, just everything in general.
Well, you were just dumping stuff in there, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a process. So what happened was it took a little bit for it to start building up. So in the meantime, I just kept on feeding heavily, not realizing that, when it did finally raise, it like caught me off guard, so to speak. So it's not bad. I caught it in time because I watch my tank every day and I'm in it all the time. But it's almost like a roller coaster, like an elevator almost. So the nutrients got real high and it just couldn't stop right away. So it had to keep climbing and keep climbing until it started slowing down. Which my SPS started struggling a little bit. Everybody else is fine because they like a little bit dirtier water, like the LPS and stuff like that. But nothing crazy happened. It was just that I almost lost all of my mother colony of stag turquoise, and then I had another type of frog skin acro started, like, I want to say STNing, but it started losing its color around the edges. So my goal is to use the nopox to bring everything back down slowly. And then I also reintroduced my bio pellets back.
Okay. Yeah, see, I don't think I'll be using nopox to bring my nitrates down. I use Chemi Pure Blue.
Yeah, Chemi Clean. Yep.
Yeah, Chemi Clean. Yeah, I don't know why. No, it's Chemi Pure. Chemi Clean is something that I had to use for what I had. I had like that red slimy shit at the bottom of my tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Chemi
Pure.
Yeah,
it's in a little pouch.
Yeah, yep. I use the Chemi Pure Blue and just underneath where my return pump comes in, because when my mom went in the hospital, my nitrates went from 10 to like 40 or more. I think they were higher than that, actually. It was getting closer to the red. And I'm like, no. So I went right to the store and got that. My phosphates are still the same, but I went ahead and picked up some Phosguard for that just in case. But yeah, I had to get that. I need to get my nitrates under control, and I'm doing water changes right now. I'm back just doing them weekly. So speaking of
Yeah,
that,
that's what I did. I did a 30-gallon and then another 30 gallons. So I did that. It's getting better. So I figured I just try this and start off slow with it. It'll help with all the like food. I was feeding so much that some of that food had to have gotten trapped in some of the rocks and
I'm sure.
started. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping this will work, and then I'm just gonna stay doing what I was doing. I just can't keep certain corals with an SPS tank. It's just the current, the lighting. You know, it's not possible for me.
Now, is yours all SPS dominant, or are you a mixed reef?
No, it's 95% SPS. I mean, I got some candy canes and some Zoas and stuff like that, but for the most part, yeah, it's all SPS.
No wonder you're having trouble.
Yeah. So I was losing the easy corals. So I compensated, and now I'm losing the hard corals because of my neglect to them. I'm actually feeding them, and the nutrients is way too high for them.
Yeah.
Great.
It's a balancing act. That's one thing I've learned.
Heck yeah, it is.
It's a delicate balancing act at that. Turn off this.
But I'm just glad I caught it at the right moment,
Yes, sir. And I would say I think my bucket's full. Glad I just remembered to come in and turn it off. My 30-gallon tub is completely full now. Yay, I can make water or make salt water.
Yeah, my alkalinity is I'm sorry, Tina. Narcosis is asking me what's my alk. My alk is just over 8.
I couldn't even tell you what mine is right now. I got to do testing to mine.
Higher light, higher alk. Yeah, so they can burn off that. That's could be my other problem. I mean, I wasn't running my metal halides either, so my alkalinity is low though. It's perfect. It's right. It's 8. Calcium is 440. Magnesium's over 1400.
Yeah, now see, I'm using reef crystals, and my stuff seems to be running high. So I ended up getting, for like my next box of salt, I just got the regular Instant Ocean just to see, as far as how it mixes up and stuff like that, to see if my tank likes it better. I mean, my tank likes it now, the reef crystals, but my magnesium's always sky high. My calcium is usually okay. It's a little bit high, but the last time I did it was 475. And then my
That's not bad though.
Yeah, my alkalinity, now that my corals are using it was 10 point something, but now I'm running between 7.8 and 8.2. So
as long as if you could keep it stability like 8, I mean 8 is like almost natural seawater, you know what I mean? 8 points to what, 3 I think, or 8.2. 2, yeah. I mean, that water fluctuates a little bit. It's got to. There's no way
yeah. Yep. I've got my refusion stuff here. I've got my 2-part A or whatever you call it. One's for calcium and one's for alkalinity. I don't have anything else. I just figure right now, as small as a tank as I have, I just do water changes until I can't keep up with it anymore, and then I'll probably end up having to go to dosing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now, I got down to where I could only needed to do water changes every 3 weeks. I was almost to a month when my mom ended up in the hospital. And so it went almost a month. before she went into the hospital, I was getting ready to do a water change, and then it went another month. So we went 6 weeks without this having any sort of attention. And nothing died, thank goodness. I just came home to really nasty green walls and no algae. It was just on the walls and stuff, and wacky water conditions. So I did a 50% water change the first week, and then the second week I went ahead and did just my normal 10. Now tomorrow I'll go ahead and do my testing. So just to see where I'm setting. But I got my RO water all made up in case I need to make salt. So
right. Narcosis wants to know what your magnesium is.
my mag. All right, just a minute. You're making me get out my book, Narcosis. I write everything down so I know.
Algae is good. People just don't like it, so that's why we have refugiums.
Yeah,
but if you
yeah.
have
Well, I mean,
algae,
it wasn't on the rocks or anything. It was just on the walls. It was green on the walls. It was from not wiping them. I wasn't here to wash them down. Usually I take my scraper and stuff like that, or my mag float, and I hit it every day. And then, when I do my water changes, I'll use my scraper down along the sand line and stuff like that. So that was that. It was just nasty walls. All right, let's see.
I have Saliford and I have API. I mean, API is cheap, but you know what? I don't feel like it's as long as it gets me in the ballpark. I mean, I want to get Hannah checkers, but for all 3 or 4, I'd have to drop $200, and I don't want to do that right now.
All right, now in July 2nd, so right before the 4th, I was using Reef Crystals, but it was a different box than what I'm using now. And my ammonia, and all that stuff. My alk was 8.1. My nitrates were running right around 20. My alkalinity was 8.1. My calcium was 470. And my mag was 1520. But since I've switched over to the new box, my calcium is running 480. Mag is 1600. And my alkalinity is 8.1. And then when my mom was in the hospital, it dropped down to 5.6. And so I've been having to do, I added refusion twice just to see, because you got to bring it up slow. So the last test was on the 14th. My nitrates were 80. Calcium was 80. Alkalinity was 7.8. And my mag was 1600. And so it seems like my magnesium's running higher in this box than it did in the last box. So I don't know, I doubt that it's the same. So I don't get, and there's not really anything you can do to bring your magnesium down, is there? Because isn't that a little high? I think you want that in what, 1350 range? I use it's CChem, the refusion narcosis. Diatoms are brown for the most part. News to me, you're telling me I didn't know they came in green. Yeah, okay. Narcosis is Walls is diatom. Cyano was, yeah. So I had a bad case of, oh, I don't know. Yeah, it was a cyanobacteria. That's that red slimy crap. And that was in both tanks. I had to clear that up. Got that taken care of, and then just big water changes, stuff like that right now, just to make sure things are done. Now tomorrow I'll be doing testing just to see where I'm at. I should have done them today on Test Tuesday, or was that yesterday? So I guess I'll be doing Test Thursday. Green, brown, and yellow. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I know right before my mom went in, or the day my mom went in the hospital, I had fed the tank Reefroids, and usually I always get a diatom bloom within a couple of days of me giving them Reefroids. It gets all over the glass, and it doesn't matter how much I use. I can use just the smallest, tiniest little bit, and I'll still end up with diatoms. I just get in there and mix it around with then the big reef, my cleanup crew pretty much handles that. I get in there, I still stir it up though. But I usually, if I'm gonna feed Reefroids, then I will wait until like 2 or 3 days before I know I'm gonna do a water change, and then I'll go ahead and feed the coral. I like to use I need to get some more too, some phytoplankton. I need to get some more of that, and I need to get some more 5280, I guess, is what Algae Barn sells, so that I can make sure my mandarin keeps. Is something tainted with magnesium? What do you mean by tainted? I mean, nothing I put in there should have magnesium in it, unless it's in their food. Could be. Let me look. My 3 staples here. I use New Life Spectrum. I don't use too much of this, though. I use this very rarely. Oh, Lord. You guys wouldn't want me to look at this one. I ain't got my bifocals are not working lately. You know what? I just thought of that. I wonder if the vitamins I'm giving them has that extra magnesium in it. Because twice a week I'll add this Vitachem product. I'll just put a little bit in there. Oh no, narcosis. When I test, I test my tank in the water in my drum after I mix it. I'll test it and the tank to see where I'm at, and that's what it's running straight out the drum. So it's high in magnesium. It doesn't have anything to do with what I'm adding, I don't think. Yeah, there's no magnesium in them vitamins. Okay, I don't see anything else. Not reef crystals. I've always had high magnesium, and like I said, I test it straight out of the drum with 1026 for salinity, and it's always ran high. It's ran between 1520 and 1600, and that's before I put it in the tank. Okay, now is manganese sulfate a form of magnesium? Or is that something different? Because that's in my new life spectrum. But like I said, I don't feed too much of this. I very rarely feed that. I even went and bought all brand new test kits. I use Red Sea. My tests can't be tainted. I'm way too OCD on the way I take care of them. I mean, to the point of every time I use them, I soak them in vinegar and make sure they're all nice and clean and dry before the next test. I don't just rinse them and throw them in the thing. And I know I don't think I'm doing the test wrong. I've been doing using the same one for the last 14 months. So I'm pretty. I mean, I could try a different test kit besides the Red Sea. I'm not sure what other ones are out there. There's another one but I'm super tired now, so I'm not really thinking too clearly. Salifer. So I could try one of those. I can't afford these newfangled digital ones, so that's going to be out of the question. For now, anyways. The Hannahs, I don't think I can afford those right now. And then if I think even if I think if I've done it wrong, then I can go back and do it again. And I usually come up with the same numbers. What video are you going to go to? I will be right back. All right, guys. Narcosis. You're telling me to go to a video, honey, but I don't know which one you're wanting me to go to. Is there a link? Oops. Who all still in here? Miss Lisa, you've gone quiet. Now, see, my corals don't get mad. They get thankful when I do a water change. I'll know something's wrong with my tank oh my goodness, we're back talking again. When my pulsing zinnias stop pulsing, or if my Duncans shrink down, then I know something's going on. I have no way of tossing anybody a wrench. This isn't my live stream.
I'm here still. I got a leak.
Uh-oh. Well, take care of that.
My calcium reactor part, I just noticed it. So.
Well, I'll try to keep everybody happy for a minute.
I'm just trying to.
You just fix that. Yeah, I used to test at 10, anywhere from 10.1 to 10.4 religiously until my corals started growing and started sucking that stuff up. I didn't think I'd ever. I got to the point where I kept saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna have the same thing every time." Blah blah blah. One day I measured it and it had dropped down to 6 point something. I'm like, "What?" Redid the test and it kept coming back that way, and it was because I was having a humongous growth spurt. And narcosis, I'm not sure. Nobody knows why the pulsing zinnias pulse. But you could be right. Who knows? Yeah. DK8 smart aleck.
Hey, Tina.
Yeah.
I put the link in Hangouts.
Oh, see, I can't get to it. I don't know how to do that.
Okay. Deadmans, when you get a chance, can you just toss me a ranch so I can post her a link to a video? So
I have to click on the desktop site and all that stuff to even get into the room.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say is that maybe hopefully you don't take this like wrong, but like maybe the way that you're testing is getting you the 1600, which it really doesn't matter, because if you're testing the exact same way every time and you keep getting the same result, that means that the result could be 1400, but you're still getting 1600, which if it's still getting the same thing, that means it's still relevant.
Okay. I know that when it comes to the magnesium, you have to be really careful. I know I have to go really like drop by drop by drop with that one, because that one is super sensitive. I mean, as soon as that goes from that bright pink, it just instantly goes blue. There ain't no purple, there ain't no in between. It just goes from pink to blue, and it just in a heartbeat. So
yeah, it does.
I have to go really slow. I know with that one. So no, I'm not taking it wrong, but I know I'm doing my testing correctly. It's just always ran high with the and I'm noticing a difference between boxes. Like the last box that I used was reliably 15-20 from the time I opened up each bag and got done with the last bag. When I switched over to this one, it's still Instant Ocean reef crystals, but it's a different box, so it's a different mix, I think. And I'm consistently coming up with the first 2 bags 1600.
Yeah. Well,
I've got 2 bags.
Yeah. So when you're getting a box of salt that has higher parameters than it's supposed to, most likely you're not going to get 2 boxes in a row unless you bought them both at the same time.
I did. I got them both off Amazon.
Oh, you did? You did buy them both at the same time?
Yes, from Amazon.
Okay. So normally, like, salts will be off by like 50 magnesium.
like 50 parts per million, but I don't think it would be off by like 300. And
well, if I was 1520, between 1520 and I'm 1600, that's not that big of a difference.
Yeah. That's not that big of a difference. But with the salt stating that it's only supposed to have 1350,
yeah,
I don't see where the other 200 is coming from. You know what I'm saying?
now is that for reef crystals, or is that for the regular instant ocean? That's what I don't get.
It is for reef crystals.
Okay. Mine's
so,
never been 1375, 1350. It's never tested that. And I tested out of the drum, and I test my tank before I just to see what my water parameters are, to see if I'm in the same vicinity, so to speak.
Yeah. So on the video, it is by Reef Spy, and he tested reef crystals, and he shows you at the 2-minute and 30-second mark what it is. I think it's 1305 or 1350. Got
Okay.
So if you're gonna check it out, go to Reef Spy's channel.
Okay. Well, would that mean that the rest of the tests that I'm doing are wrong too? I mean, if my calcium and everything else is coming out all right, why would my magnesium be so high? I don't get it.
No. So basically, like, all of these tests are completely different. Like like I'll like me myself, I'll even be honest. Like, when I first started doing testing, like, I was doing it like wrong, which I'm not sure. Like, I'm not saying you're doing it wrong. I'm not saying that your test kit's not wrong, but pretty much what I'm saying is that it could be, a combination of anything that could be giving you a higher number. But from what I've seen from all the information online is I've even seen like ICP tests on reef crystals, and they all say like 1350, 1300, 1310, like in between like 1300 and 1350.
Okay.
But so something is if you're testing 1600 every time, I wouldn't worry about it, because you are still getting the same balanced number, meaning that the actual level of your magnesium is staying the same over a constant period of time.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I just don't want them to be running too high, because I know that with your magnesium running high a lot could have an effect on the corals as well. But my corals are looking good. So they're fat and fluffy and growing, so I'm hoping that that's a good thing.
Yeah. So normally when you hit like anywhere between like 1500 and 1600, you just see like all your snails just kind of drop off the wall and sit on the bottom of your tank and die.
Oh yeah, see, I'm not got that. No, they're going around.
Yeah.
My snails and my hermit crabs and all that stuff are fine.
Gotcha. So if someday you happen to test like like 1650, then I think you should worry, because then you're probably at like 1450.
Okay. Yeah, I have to make extra sure I'm precise, or extra precise. Like I said, I'm pretty precise with my CD with my test. I'll sit there forever and just one drop at a time. I don't care. Because I want to know what my test is.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Now, see, with my calcium and my alkalinity, alkalinity, I know I can go up to 3 before I have to start slowing down. With my calcium, I know I can go to 4 before I have to start slowing down. And with my magnesium, I can only go to 2 before it starts slowing down. I'm doing 1 drop at a time.
All right. I fixed it.
Yay!
My my aqua lifter pump, Thomas aqua lifter pump that goes into my reactor to pump the water. I had a rubber hose, an airline tube, but I don't know. I haven't even noticed it till now, but it was dripping, just drip, drip. So I had to cut a piece of that like RODI unit tubing, the thicker, the harder stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put a one of those filters in between. So I plugged that in there, put like a 1-inch piece, 2-inch piece in there. Then I put my filter thing, and then I put the hose onto there because now it stopped. Thank God.
Now, what was that? Was that like one of your, what, now is it RODI or is it your I can't, dosing stuff?
Yeah,
calcium
my calcium reactor. So
Okay.
yeah, so it needed a thicker tube to put in between that gator clip or whatever you want to call it, quick disconnects,
Okay.
because it started to drip, and I don't, who knows how long. It doesn't look like anything was damaged, so I just happened to catch it, and I was like, "What the heck's going on here?" So
Yeah. Hopefully you caught it right off the bat. That'll be cool.
Oh yeah. You really got to watch out with those quick disconnects because they're only made for like the actual bigger real tubing. If you try to use that little stuff, it ain't gonna work.
yeah, that's what I'm just wondering. I cut the tube, tried it again, it still leaked. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So that worked for me though. I plumbed that in there, and I'm ready. It's ready to go now.
That's what's up.
Good job, dude. I would have probably done what?
Yeah, thank God I knew where one of those like airline, what are they called? They're like little filters. You can blow, water goes in one way, but it can't come back. Check valve.
No.
Check valve, yeah.
Yeah, I put a check valve on there, and so yeah, it's
Those are lifesavers, man.
I should have did it to my main system, so if the power went out, water wouldn't go through and fill up my sump, and I didn't do it.
Well, something about those though is like after a while, like it'll take a while, a couple months, they'll get clogged up.
Yeah, and there's no way of taking them off, right? Once they're glued.
No, they're well. Basically, you just kind of did like a little like quick fix for now, but like I would eventually probably fix it and take that back off because they'll get clogged up.
So should he be using like a stiffer line then or something?
Yeah, you know how you got the yellow lines for your RO units?
Yeah.
The yellow, the red. Yeah, I used part of one of those. I just cut the end off and put it in there, and then I used a rubber 1/4-inch hose on the check valve because I didn't have enough of the other whatchamacallit. So
Okay.
but yeah, now it's not leaking. Like he said, that it has to have pressure, and the 1/4-inch airline tubing is just too loose. And it's been running like that forever. I don't know if I just touched it and it just started now, or if it's been doing that for a long time. I don't know.
Oh boy.
But I didn't see no saltcrete or anything, so I think it just started. I think I aggravated the seal that was in there, and it caused it to leak.
Yeah, that's probably what.
Have you cleaned it out recently?
No, I was just checking my bubble count and checking to make sure because I increased my the bubble, made it bigger. So I think when I looked at my fluent line coming in from my reactor, and it was not flowing like it was. So I looked at the other end that's in my where the aqua lifter's taking it. It had algae on it and stuff like that. So I just cut the line and put it back in. so that now it's flowing like it's supposed to. Now it's flowing like a steady stream.
Okay. I don't know a lot
Does
about
that make sense?
reactors like that, but that's sounds like
Well, the line that was in my outside was clogged. So what happened was I cut like an inch and a half, 2 inches off, and then it's free. And then when I put the hose back in there, the aqua lifter can pull water easily. It's less strenuous on the pump now from the lighting. That makes sense?
Yes, it does, actually. It was getting
Now
too
it's
much
open.
pressure.
Yeah, it had a clog.
I was gonna say it sounded like it was getting too much pressure.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't. It was very. It was just dripping. So now I got to watch because I turned everything up, not knowing to check that. So now tomorrow I'll wake up and my alkalinity will be at like 9.
Well, that wouldn't be too bad. But then you just would have to turn your would you have to turn the calcium reactor down a little bit or no?
Yeah, I would just turn my CO2 down just back to where it was at. So if it was,
Yeah.
I think I had it at like 12 psi. I think I raised it to like 16.
Okay.
Because it wasn't producing enough. So I thought maybe it was getting low, but I found out what the reason was just a few minutes ago.
Wait. So you have the electronic CO2 doser?
No, I have the Milwaukee.
Okay.
I want one of those. I want to get the carbon doser.
All right. So on the Milwaukee, you have the PSI, and then on the right side of it, you got a little knob that if you turn it, it'll like make the bubbles go faster. You know?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about or no?
Yeah, my regulator. Yep.
Yeah. So, instead of messing with the actual PSI, you
Of the
just turn
tank.
the actual knob on the right side. Because if you mess with your PSI, then you really get thrown off. You know what I'm saying? Or no?
Right. Yeah. I was thinking if I turned the tank up just a fuzz, that the bubbles would be bigger.
Yes, but how do I put this? So your PSI is kind of like a gigantic knob, right? It's like, hey, if I turn this, I'm gonna get a whole bunch more. On the right side, that little knob on the regulator is like your like fine tuner. You know, like oh, I only need to go back just a little, you know, or I need to go forward just a little. You see what I'm saying?
So that little knob, I mean, yeah, it addresses how fast the bubbles are coming out.
Yes.
So it seems like if I go, it's hard to dial that in, man. Like it ain't like the carbon doser. Like you can just set it and forget it. So mine is like if you turn it. What's up?
No. See, the carbon doser is the same exact format as a regulator. People kind of get that confused. They think it's like something else, and it's not. The only thing about the carbon doser is that you can make it go like do a bubble every how do I put it? So the carbon doser doesn't go by, oh, if I turn it to 9, I'm gonna get 9 bubbles. Or if I turn it to 8, I'm gonna get 8 bubbles. It's the exact same format as that. The only difference is it has a electronic um grabber basically that like releases more CO2 into it.
Right.
So so when you make your so if you turn your PSI, you're making it do bigger bubbles. If you turn your knob on the regulator, you're making the bubbles go faster or slower. That's the exact same thing that the electronic carbon doser does. The only difference between both of them is that the electronic carbon doser doesn't have a pin that can stick shut or stick open.
Right. So I don't want more bubbles because I want to run my I want the calcium reactor to be at 6.5. So if I add more bubbles, that's going to cause that to drop more. So
yes, you
so
want
if I put
less
a little bit more
bubbles, but
seal,
you want the bubbles to stay the same size. You just want less bubbles.
yeah, I want the same bubbles, but I want them just to be a little bit bigger so that it's gonna drop. It'll melt a little. You know what I'm trying to say? It'll like melt the media in there. Is that how that works, or am I thinking it too much?
So there is two different ways you can do it. You can either use the PSI, which is going to be harder because now your bubbles are getting bigger instead of just turning up a little bit just to get the bubble just a little faster. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where
do you have your regulator set at? Well, how many PSI?
I have the electronic carbon doser. I got it set at 4. I got it set at 4, but then I have the actual knob, basically the same knob you got on the side, but mine's on the front, and it shows 1 to 10. I have that at 9.4. So my bubbles come a little bit slower.
So I should drop my PSI down and work just with the bubbles.
Yes.
So where should I have my tank then? Like 5? Should I put it at like 5? And then adjust the bubbles accordingly?
No. I think it has to stay between 9 and 12 with the normal regulator. So
yeah, I think it's 10.
When I had my other calcium reactor before I got this one, I had the actual regulator, just like you got the Milwaukee regulator, and it has to stay between 9 and 12, I think. So if you got it on 9 and then you turn that knob, you should see the bubbles going up slow, right? So every little turn
makes
is going to be every little turn is going to be a faster bubble. So that right there tunes your calcium reactor as far as pH. But if you've been running it the other way, you might want to research how to run it the way that you fine tune it. You might want to research that first. So then you actually understand it and you're not just hearing it from me. You actually understand it for yourself, you know?
Right. Let me see where that regulator's at.
Hey, boys, I'm going to go ahead and turn in. I got an early day in the morning.
All right, Tina. Sounds good. Sorry to turn this into like a calcium reactor party or whatever, but
no, don't worry about it. I just, hey, it's all a learning experience for me. It's just I'd be out with my mom. We got.
I got you.
I don't know. You probably heard everything that went on, but it's been a month from hell. So tomorrow's a long day for her with specialists and stuff. So I got to get it early.
Gotcha. The only thing I can say is, I guess I hope everything gets better.
I hope so too. They said that they probably bought us a couple more years with her, but they're not for sure. So we'll see.
Sorry.
No, hey, it is what it is. So we just have to take it a day at a time and just enjoy each one.
Right, exactly.
All right, guys. I will talk to you soon.
Tina, I have one more question before you leave.
Sure.
When you test your magnesium and you're holding the bottle to do the drips, do you hold it at a 45-degree angle?
I have a titrator. I heard it straight up and down.
Straight up and down. Yeah, sounds great. That's perfect.
I'm telling you, I take these stuff pretty darn seriously because I've already lost one tank full of stuff. I'm not doing it again.
Gotcha.
I'm learning.
What test kit you using?
Right now, I use Red Sea test kits.
All right.
I use APM for my ammonia and the bullshit nitrate test, but for my calcium, alkaline, magnesium, and phosphates, I use Red Sea.
All right. So I actually use the Red Sea magnesium too. So it recommends that you hold it in your hand with basically the titrator kind of has like a little knob on the end, right? So that actually goes in the corner of your hand where your thumb and your index, and you hold that on a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
And something else that I noticed about it is if you take it and you shake it and you like hold it like towards the ground, you can see the actual blue color better. Because if you like hold it up to a light or something, it just shows you like more reddish pink.
Yeah, see, I hold mine right over white paper because I have a hard. I'm not colorblind at all, but I mean, I want to see the instant that color changes. So I make sure I'm over something white so I can see that color change immediately.
Okay, yeah, sounds great. Sounds awesome.
All right, guys.
And wait, and you're getting. So what I did with mine was I switched out the actual syringe for a different syringe that actually showed the numbers on the syringe the opposite way. So like it actually goes the way that it shows on the card. So like if it says 6, it'll show 6 on my syringe. Are you using the factory syringe?
I'm using the syringes that come with the box.
All right. So when you use it, does it say like 3.3?
What are you talking about? Like the big syringe for the salt water or for the titration fluid?
For the titration on the titration, it basically makes you use your
it's a 1 mil syringe.
Yeah.
It goes 0.1, 0.2, 0.3,
when you pull it all the
0.4.
way out, does it show 1?
Yes.
All right. So when you going down, do you stop at 4? Is that normally where you stop, around 4?
No. I can only do that with my calcium.
Gotcha.
All right, I tried to fix that. I tried to fix it.
I really need to get out here, guys, so I'm going to talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you later. Sorry, Tina.
No, you're fine. Have a great night.
Later, Tina.
Later.
Did you fix the calcium reactor?
Yeah, I turned it to 10, and I'm gonna watch my bubbles for a little bit, make sure it doesn't go below 6.5. As long as I don't do that, then I'm good.
Yep.
If I go below 6.5, it should shut off, but I don't want my solenoid to keep turning on and off, you know.
Oh yeah. Pretty much you just want it on the whole time.
Yep.
Because in that way, if it gets stuck on, it doesn't do anything.
Exactly. I did know that.
Yeah, man. There's like when I first started playing with calcium reactors, I didn't know that, so I had it clicking on and off like every hour, and then eventually it did get stuck on. But something about me is, when I come home, the first thing I do is I go through my whole like routine check Like I go right to the calcium reactor. Oh yeah, that's still running. I go right to my protein skimmer. I look and see, I need to clean that out, or I go to the next thing.
Yeah,
I look around the whole tank,
I
make sure
love
nothing's
I
leaking.
love best thing I bought my calcium reactor use, and it's the best thing I ever bought. I mean, for a bigger system, anything like, I guess, I don't know what size your tank is, but anything that's probably over 100 gallons, I think it's a must. If you did it with a smaller tank, it's awesome because it's still going to work, but probably the best system for better than dosing, I'll tell you that.
Um, Maybe. I mean, most of the stuff is all on like how you run it, basically. But a calcium reactor is definitely like set it and forget it. Like
Right.
set
I
it
mean,
and it's
I
gonna
was
give you what you want.
I was going through so much two part. I've saved myself a lot of money. Put it that way.
How much two part were you going through?
With this system, at first, when I first started, I was probably doing over 100 mils of elk a day. Probably, I don't know. Remember, kind of remember. It was almost a year ago. Uh, Calcium was probably just under that, but it was going up and up. I mean, figure I was going through. I would have to buy a whole new setup of just alkalinity and calcium pretty much like every 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Oh yeah, going through a lot.
So you figure that's $25 for the kit or whatever, times that at least 4 times. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, how long you been in the hobby, man? Did you ever dose baking soda?
No, I never baked. No,
Yeah, man, that's what we started off dosing, baking soda. Best
no.
stuff
I
ever.
started this. I got married. My first marriage was I was 18, so 96. I started my first reef tank, but it was like it had the T8 bulbs. I had like on a 55. I think I had four of them: the 50/50, the Actinic, and the 65K.
Yep.
But it was all like soft corals. I didn't have no SPS or anything like that. I was strictly like mushrooms and toadstools and leathers, and I don't even think I had any zoas either. I think it was just all like fat leather corals. Bubble coral I remember having, but then I got out of it for a while. I got divorced. She took the tank. Then in 2007, I got back into it. My aunt got me into it again.
Oh
Um,
yeah, man, you've been in the hobby for a minute then.
yeah, 2007, my aunt got back into it. She passed away, so I stayed within it. She gave me her boyfriend got into it. Long story short, I got back, and from that point on, it was good. I had a tank from that point on. Yeah, from 2007. Then I started getting into more. By that time when I got back in, there was like different rocks and different zoas and this, and I stepped away again, got
Yeah.
remarried, and then my wife told me to go ahead and I set up that tank that I had in 2007 from my aunt. It was an Oceanic 60 gallon.
Oceanics beast. Those tanks are beast.
Yeah, I got rid of that. Got a 120, which I gave to Pat Murphy. I had that up for a while. I got rid of that, and then I moved to a 240 acrylic.
Yeah, you got a 240 acrylic.
Yeah.
What do you think of the acrylic, man? Be honest.
I It's got its pros and cons. You got to be. I like it because it's light, so it's less weight on your floors. Um, you can get it made any way you want. That's cool, but it does scratch easy. I mean, not so easy, but you can't use like a regular flipper or any type of scrapers or anything like that. I use either a Mr. Clean eraser, but not them ones. I buy it from the fish store, and then or a it's like almost like that filter floss. It's like cotton.
Oh yeah.
I use that to clean my glass. Like, um, but it's I like it because you can just if you needed to add shit, like if you wanted to drill a hole, you don't have to worry about it. You can just do it. Um, would I ever get it again? I don't know. Probably I'm like 60-40, maybe, but chances are I would rather have glass so then I don't have to keep putting my hands in there to clean the glass and
You want
but
to hear something that would work good on acrylic to clean the glass? So when it comes to like ductwork for a house, they like make like this little like plastic scraper for like to like flatten out the tape that goes around the ductwork. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, it looks like well they make them now, don't they? Got them in like red, blue, green. They're like little they look like razors.
Uh, Maybe yeah. I can get them. I can get them for you for free.
Yeah, I got something similar to that and I use that to get my coralline algae off the front and the one side. The other side I
Yeah,
painted white
exactly.
and then the back is black. So um but yeah, it's cool. It's 7 foot by 2 by 27, so it's a big tank.
How's the how's the growth for your corals?
Has what?
How's the growth of your corals?
Well, since my phosphates and everything, everything's kind of been at a standstill. My strawberry shortcakes and stuff are doing all right, but for the most part, everything was growing great until I took my bio pellets off and shut my skimmer down to try to build nutrients into the water, and so I kind of it's a learning process. I've like I said, I've done this before, not to this extravagant with SPS, but I mean I've been doing this for a little bit, so I didn't jump the gun or try to add stuff that I shouldn't or whatever. I just did a water change, added my bio pellets that I've been using for the last almost 4 years that worked great, um, and then I just bought nopox today to try to bring it down, just to kind of balance me out.
Gotcha. So did you put the bio pellets back on?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
those
don't
things
use
are
the recommended dose though, so I
those things are
use.
monsters.
Pardon?
Those things are monsters. Those things like eat your tank.
Yeah, I only put 125 mils in. I'm currently running probably 330 gallons of true water
Yep.
because with if you were to take all the rock out, I mean, if you took the volumes of the tanks I have, I got way more. So, but people always say I got a 55-gallon sump. No, you don't. You got a 30-gallon sump because you only probably got 30 gallons of water in there. Um,
Right. Yeah, I got a 75-gallon sump.
with probably what like 60 gallons of water.
72.
See, so yeah, so now you know where I'm coming from. So
Yeah,
I probably
exactly.
have in my 55, I probably got about 40 gallons of
Yep.
water. My 240 with all the rock and everything, I'm probably sitting at like 200. Um, and then I got a 15-gallon just Chato and Calerpa, no rock, no nothing. So that's 15 gallons. And then I got a 40-gallon display refugium with just a few corals in there. Just it's like a frag slash. I got miracle mud and stuff on the bottom.
Miracle Mud is nice.
But yeah, other
Miracle
than
Mud
that,
grows the phytoplankton.
yeah, but I'm actually destroying that right now because I got my other skimmer hooked up into there. So to try to bring my nutrients down. Once I get it squared away, I'll probably take that one back offline.
Um, yeah, you should probably just take it offline. I mean, it isn't gonna do much. I mean, you can only skim so much. Basically, you just have your skimmers fight against each other. Um, that's just basically the whole true honesty on skimmers is um, you're probably just going to shock your reef more with the extra pH that it's adding, and then when you take it offline, it'll piss it off.
Why do you think it's going to boost my pH up?
Yeah, I mean, basically, the more oxygen, the more air you add to your water, the more your pH is going to go up.
I wasn't even thinking that.
But then on the other hand is um it's just kind of like competing against each other, and then you can only skim out so much. I mean, you pretty much can't skim out what's not there. And when it comes to like nitrate, that's to a skimmer, that's not there. That's too small.
Right.
Basically, the only thing that skimmers are kind of made to do is just get out basically fish poop and the like silt that you see on top of the water.
Yeah, that little
But
film.
yeah, but at the same time, you're pulling out um, water itself, which is taking out all the other trace elements and everything else, and salt. So I don't know. You just might be, doing a little bit too much to not do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I hear you.
And then when you go to take it offline, now your calcium reactor is over producing calcium and alkalinity because your corals were growing faster from the higher pH. And now that's going to shock your system a little bit. It's just a whole circle. When you try to change something, sometimes you change
Yeah,
something
that's
that
what
makes
I
it
did.
lower.
I tried to change something to fix one thing and counterreacted. And I mean, don't get me wrong, my tank still looks good, but I should have just left. You know what? You just can't put everything. It's hard to keep a mixed reef. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I mean,
I got a
if you
mixed
want
reef.
to do SPS, it should be SPS. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are those people out there that can do it, but they also probably have more money than I do, and they have all the special gadgets and tools, and you know,
No, not really. So um, a lot of people go and think, oh, I need to keep SBS. I need to keep ultra low nutrients. Oh, I need to keep the nitrate. I need to keep the phosphate down. All that type of stuff. And to be honest, like that is a whole way of reefing, yes, but that doesn't make you keep happy SBS. Like um worldwide corals, um all they're running is calcium reactor and their light's higher than their tank. And that's it. And they're keeping happy SBS. They have color, they're selling them. Jason Fox, same thing. He's not running any kind of nutrient reducers. Um, Basically, your tank starts to reduce its own nutrients when things start growing and starting to be happy. As long as you're not overfeeding, dosing more nutrients in your tank than it's supposed to have. You know what I mean?
right? Yeah, so it's only going to consume what it can. So if you overdo it, now that becomes a problem, and that's where you get your nitrates and phosphates.
Yes. So, um, to
And if you're
me,
not feeding enough, you'll notice because then your corals will start letting you know, hey, you need to feed us. You need to feed us.
um, yes, but your core line algae that you're supposed to have is going to tell you a month before your corals even show you anything.
Why it'll start turning white.
Start turning white, stop growing. You'll kind of notice you're stop cleaning the glass. Um, you'll just notice like it'll just start growing green on top of blue. When you start seeing that, then you know one or two things. Either something's going on, the alk is off, the calcium's off, your balance is out of whack, your magnesium is not up to par. Basically, your core line will show you before anything else in your tank. And if you're growing like massive core line, then you know, hey, I can grow acros because core line is a similarity to an acro.
I got more coralline algae on the back wall than fuck. It's almost completely 100% purple.
Yeah. So when your core line starts to die and starts to die back, that's releasing all of its calcium and alkalinity and everything else into your water, feeding your corals. So it's kind of like helping you stabilize your tank too.
That makes sense. If it's true, I don't know. Is that true?
I mean, what else can it do when it dies?
Oh, when it dies, yeah, just like we're melting the stuff in our reactors. So
Yeah. So when it starts to get pissed off and it starts to die back, it starts to feed your corals and starts to feed your tank to try to like help your tank stabilize.
that's cool. That's a good way of looking at it.
So the way that most of these uh people, like a lot of these people that got like bigger tanks and like world like Coral and Jason Fox and all that stuff. Most of them just run their tank and let their corals in their tank actually like eat their phosphate and their nitrates, and they just try to keep it at like a balanced low level of like 5, and they're getting all of these blasting colors and all this blasting tank, and they got everything in their tank. They got acros, the same tank hooked up. They got acans and zoas and everything. They're keeping them all under the same parameters of like 5 nitrate, point 0.3 to 0.5 or 0.6 phosphate. But sometimes, like what I think, and I don't have any research behind this, but like this, what I've seen is that I've just seen biopellets just eat people's system. Like they put them on, it starts to eat the alkalinity. It assists in stripping their tank of all the actual nutrients too far. They're just too good at what they do. And even when you do cut back, you already have the bacteria running all around your system. So when that dies off, then that just makes a huge nutrient spike, kind of like you got. And then a lot of stuff gets pissed off. And then when it starts to work again, it's just kind of like a cycle.
Yeah, that's why I'm only running 125, and I drew a line, and I'm gonna monitor it. Like I ran them for years, and I was pretty good at watching it. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna overdo it. I'm not gonna put I'm not gonna put nowhere near. I mean, 0.25 mLs of biopellets for my system isn't even enough for a 75-gallon tank. I don't think.
Gotcha.
So it's just there to help, so they don't keep climbing. And then I'm gonna let my system do the work. Like I said, I'm doing a nopox to bring
There
him
you
down.
go. There you
And
go.
once it's
Let
good,
your system do the work.
right, I'm gonna help bring it down. Then I'm gonna stop, keep my biopellets 1.25 mLs, and then let my system. I'm gonna go back to my old ways. I'm not gonna sit here and try to compensate for this one or that one or.
You still do water change, right?
No, I don't do water changes. Now I have been. I've done 60 gallons in the last like month. So
And that alone didn't bring it down?
yeah, it brought it down a lot. I mean, but I was way up there, dude. For my
Gotcha.
nitrates were, like I said, it was crazy.
Oh
I want to
yeah,
say,
I mean, basically, once that biopellet bacteria dies off, I mean, like hey, it gets around your tank. It doesn't just live in the reactor. Like it gets around your tank, running around, eating up whatever it can find, and then when it stops finding stuff and it dies off, that's probably how you get that big nutrient spike. Like how you said, like it just wasn't going, and then you just kept
yeah,
eating
it was
the
weird.
food.
Everything was fine. Everything was fine when I turned everything off, whatever. And then it takes a while for that shit to build up. And then before I knew it, it was like,
Boom,
oh wow,
99K.
now what do I do? Now what? And I'm like, well, that's too much. And then things start getting aggravated. And I mean, I caught it at the right time, but it was just a little too much for my coral's likings.
Yep. What else are you dosing? Do you dose any like trace elements, or do you dose?
Yeah, I dose fuel. I dose potassium, iodine. I mean, my zoas are multiplying like
What's your potassium right now?
I don't
Because
test for it.
you don't test for it. Well, you told me you said one coral turned all red, like a green coral or something. Didn't you say something like that? Oh,
Uh,
you said something like your highlighter is. Didn't you say something like that?
no, I
Like
don't think.
like didn't you say like something used to have like a bright red tip and then it turned all red?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, my I have a Jason Fox Flame.
Yeah. It's probably your potassium is probably too high because potassium is what gives you red coloring.
Right, yeah, because I dose that like once a week, once every 3 days or so. I'll put like 30 mLs in.
Wait. Is it potassium or iron? I don't remember.
Potassium gives you the reds and blues, yeah.
Um, I think potassium gives you the blues, but I think iron
But
gives you the
also in
reds.
fuel though, there's a lot of iron in fuel, I think too, right? So, um,
How's your refugium growing? Grows pretty good.
yeah, everything's good, man. I got plants growing and Chato and everything's kind of like at a standstill right now. It was growing crazy, but like I said, that's how I knew something was wrong.
Even your Cheetos at a standstill.
I know I just took out probably a 5 gallon bucket worth.
Okay, because macroalgae takes out iron out of the water.
Yeah, I got Calerpa, I got Chato. So that's we'll see. I've been watching it, seeing how fast it grows. Usually it was like every couple weeks or every month I was taking out enough.
What is this crap? Red Sea says it promotes the green colors. Try to say iron promotes the green colors.
Really.
I don't know if I believe that. I thought it was red.
Potassium is red.
I thought potassium was blue.
It's red and blue, I thought they said. Because my Maniporas, man, they're like it's crazy red.
Crazy red.
Oh yeah.
Says
My
when green
damsels are
colors
all
become
fighting
less
with each other,
intense.
man.
Again, yellow corals as indicators. Stop dosing when yellow corals display green shimmer. So it's blue. Shows blue. Um,
Yeah, I got like 20, 22 fish in my tank too.
Yellows highly depend on nitrate and phosphate levels. Greens. I guess green is iron. Yeah, I guess green is iron. Blues and purples is potassium. And reds. You there?
Oh yeah.
What did your calcium reactor do?
Like calcium at?
No, calcium reactor.
Would you ask me about it?
What did it do? Did it hold at 6.5 or what is it doing?
Oh, I haven't even checked it yet. Hold on. So far, it is.
So far it's holding at 6.5. You said so far it's holding at 6.5?
What happened?
You said so far it's holding at 6.5.
Yeah, so far so good, man. It's still at 6.5.
Oh, what did you do to it? You turned up the PSI or you turned the knob on the right down?
Yeah, I turned the PSI down on the actual tank, and then I adjusted those bubbles.
There you go. Watch, like you'll see a night and day when it comes to tuning it with that. And when I say like night and day, like you can actually like, what do you have for a pH controller?
pH controller, a Milwaukee.
The Milwaukee, doesn't it show like 6.54 or 6.55, 6.556?
No, I don't have the digital one. I got one that just it's got like a little turn dial. You can set it at 6.5 to shut off, or it's got a little
Gotcha.
red button. You got high or low.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Costs
So
like forget.
yeah. So with using that little knob on the right side of the regulator, you can actually see, like when you just turn it up just a little bit, you'll actually see just that little bit of up. Instead of like turn the PSI where it's gonna like blast your corals with alk. Now it's like you just turn up just a little bit and you'll actually notice, like how you can tune it better, and you like notice that, you won't be playing with it as much.
Yeah, it's a touchy thing. Like I want to get a carbon doser and just be done with it. I like them. My buddy has one. It's pretty sick how that thing just like releases whatever it needs. Like it'll like do two bubbles, and then like a millisecond later, a one will follow, and it'll be like he can adjust it like anyway. It's pretty cool. They're just
Um,
expensive, man.
uh, honestly, like for $300 to do the exact same thing that you're already doing with your regulator, I mean, it's the exact same thing. Like, I don't see anything different.
Right.
The only thing I do see different is that they put a number on the little right valve on the Milwaukee regulator. They just put a number on that. That's all. Literally, that's all. If I turn up the PSI, I get bigger bubbles. So like I get a larger portion. Is what they call it. You get a larger portion. If I turn the PSI down, I get a smaller portion. And if I turn the actual thing that says like second, like you can either do it like every 10 seconds, It gives you a portion. I can turn it to 9. And then every 9 seconds, it gives me a portion. The exact same thing you're doing with that little dial on the right.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, when I first got it, the first thing I did was call up the company. It was like, hey, this thing doesn't work right. I'm supposed to get a bubble every 9 seconds. Or every 10 seconds. A bubble is supposed to come out. And the guy's like, no, that it doesn't work like that. It goes by portions. You get a portion every 9 seconds. And I'm thinking, well, I've seen all these YouTube videos. It shows me a bubble every 9 seconds. Well, somebody calibrated theirs to that, which that wouldn't work anyways because you'd just be dosing a hell of a lot of carbon dioxide for no reason.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, like basically I got it on the pressure right now. I got it on like 4.5 or 4 for pressure. And then the actual 10-second dial, I got that on 10. And I'm sitting at 6.5. So if I was to turn that to
You have a lot of corals in your tank?
I mean, they're starting to grow. I mean, I got over 60 frags. I got probably over 25 frags of acros. Couple are like colony size. Smaller colony size. I just started growing them, what, a year ago maybe? What you got a whole bunch of corals in your tank, don't you? I think I've seen a bunch on your video.
Yeah, I haven't done a video update in a long time, but yeah, I got quite a few corals.
Mostly all acros, right?
Yeah, I got a lot of wild colonies that are like I don't know what the names are. I don't know what the potentials are, but I got quite a few different ones. I got
You got them to color up.
if you put the glasses on, you can see the colors. So if I put my glasses like the orange filter on,
Yep.
yeah, you can really see. Now, when I first got a lot of them, you couldn't see any color. So I mean, I think it's just in due time. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be probably another few months to a year or whatever when they really settle in and you're not moving them or like touching them or because they're from the wild, so they're gonna takes a little bit for our artificial light to color them up.
Yeah, I mean it's all on like just like your water quality, basically.
But I mean, I got reds and purples and blues and oranges and yellows and golds and
All kinds. Yep.
I don't have like no crazy corals because obviously I can't. I would have to order shit like that, but I'm not spending $200-300 for a frag. I'll tell you that much.
Man, don't buy that shit. You stick it in your tank, the shit turns fucking brown for the next half a year. Plus.
Right.
And you're sitting there, you're like, dude, that's my home wrecker right there. Your buddy comes over, looks at your home wrecker, and he's like, man, that's a brown ass fucking turd in your tank. Man, coloring up those corals like they got them is insane, to be honest. I mean, like, you can do it, yeah. But at the same time, you're going to be taking all this time to try to color something up and doing this and that. Your other corals are probably getting pissed. You're playing around with all these trace elements. I mean, before you know it, you've been had your chemist degree before you even got done trying to color them up.
Yeah, right.
And most of these corals, it's just their freaking lights. What they're running is growing them. Something that Jason Fox did say during like one of his little interviews, kind of like got me thinking. he said that basically these corals grow on the side of a mountain. So like after the
Yes.
sun passes them being on this side of the mountain, all they get after that is just like, cloud sunlight, basically like T5 type deal. Just like the low
He also
par.
said every tank should have T5 bulbs on there. For some reason, the coral, SPS, acros, whatever, all corals, they love that spectrum. I remember I listened to that
All
video.
right. All right. Something I'm gonna come out with in my next video is so when you like look up at the sky, right? You see all that blue sky, right?
Right.
So think of all that extra blue sky that you see in the sky. So when you look up, you
Well,
look
look
right,
at your screensaver right
you
here with
look
the
all
guy
this.
underwater. Like that's blue. That's T5 right there.
Yep, yep. So hold on, let me keep on trying to explain this. So like when you look up at the sky, you look to the right, you look all the way to the left. All you see is all this like extra sky, right? Full of light, right? So like when you look up at the sun, what do you see? You see like one gigantic bulb, right? So
Right.
if you were to think of that gigantic bulb as your halide or your LED fixture, and you look at all the rest of this blue sky to the right, all this blue sky to the left, you think of that as your T5. What do you got? I mean, like, all you gotta do is just like look at that comparison. Like all this blue sky, all that's your T5s, right? And then you look up at the sun, that's like the brightest light ever that's going on. That'll be like your LED or your metal halide. And that's just like the greatest comparison ever.
Yeah, it is. What time is it?
Time for bed, 12:11.
Oh, yeah, it is. I gotta be at work at 5.
Oh, man, you better get to bed.
Oh, fuck. 6 o'clock start.
Talking about reefs is fun, buddy, but you got to go to bed. I'm going to bed.
We going to bed. We all going to bed.
Thanks for the conversation, guys.
Yeah,
Make sure you
guys, I gotta
slide the
go.
DMs Reef if you haven't.
Nice chatting with you, buddy.
Catch you later.
You guys be good, brothers. Be good. Be good. Good night. Good night.